Okay. Since I am one of those people that can't stand silence, even though I know I put you all on mute automatically, and I'm going to assume that we should wait till 11:10 because that's when class really starts. Um, I can tell you that I was able to figure out a way to roll without us having to all sit here and go here or present or me try to butcher everyone's names, which guaranteed I am pretty good at butchering names. So that's awesome. Um, Also wanted to let you guys know that I did take a look at the homework. So some people still need to get into Pearson. So if you're still having issues with that, let me know and I will try to help. Um, Basically, the advice I have been given is if you try with your L-Tri-C account and for whatever reason it's not letting you with your L-Tri-C account, you can create an account with another email. That makes sense. So definitely try to join with an account. Um, and once everyone gets here, or once it hits 11:10, we are going to try to do this online session. Anyone that that started the homework, I apologize if the beginning parts are a bit boring. I just figured if we started exactly at the beginning, then that way everyone will be on the same page. And even those of you that did it, maybe you'll catch on to something that you missed. I don't know. Also, um, please don't make fun of my terrible computer drawing. It's It's pretty bad. I try my best. But if it's too crappy, just let me know and I will try to redraw it. Also, an amusing side note, yesterday 2 students dropped out, so I thought we would be down to 22, and immediately 2 more students were added. So I guess we have a wait list for my classes, which is great for me. Just means a lot of students for the large group. You guys will have to kind of let me know towards the end. I'll try to keep an eye, or if someone can keep an eye on the time, because I know some of you have classes pretty much immediately afterwards. And I only set this up for an hour and a half, so it'll actually end at 12:30. If you guys want to discuss if you prefer to have the big classes now that we're going to have one versus the small breakout, there might be times where I'll get through the whole lecture in the first day. So if you'd prefer to have question and answer sessions in the small group, just we'll basically go on the majority. I guess that's the most fair way. I just want everyone to feel like they're being heard and to not get frustrated, especially since I know you all would prefer to be in class. I also would prefer to be in class, but obviously I don't want to risk anyone's personal health. Okay. All right, I'm going to admit people as I see them, but right now we will give things a go. Oh, there's Mackenzie. Okay. So first question is I know I sent that, can everyone hear me? I guess that's the first thing. Can I have a, okay. Secondly, I know I sent out that chapter 1 notes a little late, kind of because I didn't know if I was gonna send it early or just assume everyone could get it off the canvas. Was anyone able to do the vocab? Do you guys want to go over it really quickly? Because I do have my copy from last semester, so I can just put it up. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it. And I can always email it out to you guys as well. Where's the screen share on this thing? Ah, the big green button. That would probably help. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. Nope, not where I wanted to be. Okay. All right, hopefully this will be big enough for you. Okay, screen share. There it is, finally. Okay. All right, so for me to see everybody, means that I cannot see anything. So we're gonna have to use some honor system and hope that everyone is paying attention. Can you guys see the vocab on the screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you. I can tell you that right now I'm going to hide myself, I think. Yeah, hide self view, great. So right now I can see Cody, Chloe, Lexi, and Gavin. So if you guys can be the like head nods, then hopefully everyone else will be good. So if you don't already have your slope and point slope formulas down, go ahead and write those down. And I will give you guys a few minutes, so if you can let me know when you need me to scroll down for the vocab, then I will do that.
I had a question.
Yeah.
They asked me for access code for the Pearson.
Did I email out the code? Or did I not?
I'm gonna check.
Because I
Probably did.
thought I did. If I didn't, I'll write myself a note and I'll email you the code again specifically. Plus, I know there were a couple people that are new, but and so they might need it too.
Can I get my notebook real quick?
Sure can. Okay. All right, wrote myself a note. Can you guys confirm for me for the authorization, was it just your username and password for the school? Is that how you got in?
For my LTC?
Yeah, like to get into the Zoom today. Was it just your LTRIC username and password?
Yeah, I just logged in with Google.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to log in with Google.
Can I also get a code, the access code, emailed to me?
Who just asked?
Casey.
Okay. Yeah.
Me too, please.
You're not in it? I could have swore you were in it.
What, the textbook?
Yeah, the Pearson.
I don't
Is
know. I
this-
don't know.
Is this to do homework or is this to do to get into the book?
To get into the book.
Okay, so if you're looking just for the book, if you guys go onto the Canvas and you go under resources and hit textbook, it should pop up for you.
When I do that, it says I'm not authorized.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I need it for the homework.
Okay. Also, yeah, Casey, I'll send it out. There's a few of you that aren't in that I'll definitely resend it to.
I have the code right here, but they're asking more than 30 letters.
Okay. All right. Definitely let me know when you guys are good for me to scroll down.
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
So I've basically almost done all the homework and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
videos with the comprehensive notes. Some of this, like, you explain it better.
Sure.
I'm just like looking at it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I was yelling at the book, and it didn't hear me. So, but on what day is today? Wednesday. On Monday,
Mhm.
you said about having the final exam was available already.
Oh yeah. But that's just because I have everything unlocked. It's not
Okay.
like you don't have to do
So-
anything with it.
Well, I tried to pull it up so that I could like see where, I mean, because by the end, I'm probably gonna forget some of the stuff in the beginning. So I
Mhm.
just wanted to kind of compare, but I couldn't. It wouldn't open for me. It said
Okay.
this is part of a module that's not I don't available yet or something.
Okay. I don't think I uploaded my exams, so it's possible that when I ported over from someone else's, they may have set a lock on it.
Okay.
So let me write it down with my other notes for today, and I will make sure that all of the exams are unlocked.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll also upload the rest of them. Okay. All right. You guys good if we scroll down a little bit? Okay. Just want to make sure that everyone has and is the size okay, or do you want me to try and see what happens if we zoom in a bit? No, it's okay. All right, cool. And just so you guys know, right now my faces are Mackenzie, George, Angela, Casey, and Joseph. So you guys are the representation right now. Cool.
I just had a quick question.
Sure thing. What's up?
Where is the homework on? Is it on Canvas or is it on the Pearson?
Okay, so if you go into your Canvas, you'll see a thing on the left-hand side that says, what, Pearson something?
Pearson My Lab and Mastering.
So when you click on that, and then it'll pop up where you click on a thing that says open. It's like a big yellow button. When you push on
Yeah.
the big yellow button, it should ask you to log in. If you have an old account, go ahead and try and log in with that. If you have never used Pearson, you want to create an account. And I think I sent out, or on the Canvas, there should be like a how to create an account PDF. If you just follow those steps, it's pretty easy. And I will send out the course code to anyone that isn't currently on my list in the course.
So when I click on the big yellow button, it doesn't say to log in. It says access code or pay to get a book or
Okay.
access.
Okay, so there should also be a 2-week free option. You can
Yeah.
once you get in, so my suggestion would be do the 2-week free option. And then on the left-hand side, once you get in, I made sure to have payment options as something that you guys can see. So then you can click on payment options and you can actually do it all through the product instead of having to go through the bookstore. Don't tell L-Tri-C I told you that. I'm sure they prefer you to go through the bookstore.
Well, I
Yeah.
got one
Okay.
of the books on the bookstore and I don't have a code or anything to get in.
The bookstore sold you a book and there wasn't a code with it?
Yeah, they didn't send a code in my email.
I had the same issue as well.
I had that issue, and what I did to fix that was I thought they would send me the code in my L-Tri-C email, but they sent it to my personal, and I had to go like a couple like pages back to find the email. I can look for it and see like who was sent by.
Thank you, Gavin. That's great. Yeah, if you ordered the book through the bookstore, they 100% should know that you need the online code. Do not repurchase the code. If anything, do what I told the one group, which was you call Pearson and you say you bought a code and it's not working, or you bought the code and you can't find it. Their job is to get you in, so they will get you in.
What the email that it was sent by was ltric@bookstore.com, like bkstr.com.
There should be a link right in the receipt that they send you.
Yeah.
There's a receipt they send you, and it sends you to like Brightwave Bookshelf or something, and then it gives you the code, and then it tells you to go to Pearson to sign in. So it should be right. They immediately send you a receipt because it's a digital online code. So that's where you should be able to find it.
I was gonna say, if you get into Pearson through like the registration, it says your course, and then it has the math course listed, and then after you hit go to course, it'll automatically put the ebook with like the rest of your homework and everything on one page, and it registers you.
When I click on textbook on Canvas,
Mhm.
it just immediately like goes to 401 unauthorized. So like I can't even like log in or anything like that. Like it's just like a blank screen that says unauthorized that says like I don't have permission on the server.
All right.
I also had that issue.
Okay.
And if you go onto Google and you like into your history and clear your cookies and cache data, and then you like reset the browser thing, it worked for me.
Cool. Okay, let's try that approach, and if not, I can also let the guy in charge of the class know that some of you are still having issues with the textbook. But definitely try that first and then let me know if it works.
I got a question.
Hmm.
So the notes, you supposed to send them to you?
The what now? Sorry.
The notes, we're supposed to send them to you? Like we're supposed to type it out and send it to you, or?
Absolutely not. These are primarily for your knowledge base.
Oh, okay. What about showing our work? Do we have to send that to you?
Yes, so your work for quizzes and exams, I absolutely want. Your work for your best quiz attempt, and then your work for your exams. That way I can help you guys out.
So only
So
for
we
the
don't
ones
need-
that we pass, we send it to you?
Yeah, only the quiz attempt that you care about. I want that one, because otherwise I'll be looking at, all 4 attempts for each person.
Yeah.
It'll be just too much. And then your exam attempt.
Wait, can
So
you
we don't need
read-
to send you. Oh,
Do rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins can go. And then I'll take the next one. All right, Mackenzie, Angela is deferring to you first.
okay. So we don't need to send you homework. Like, do we need to send you homework work or no?
Okay, so homework work, only send me problems that you're having problems with. Does that make sense? So like if you've got a problem right, cool beans. If you are struggling with a problem and you've done it 10 times, you can send me the screenshot of your attempts, and then that way you and I can work through them quicker.
Okay. Thank you.
So my question is, what do you mean by send you our work?
Okay, so
Yeah, how do we do that?
because we're online,
Mhm.
so last semester when everything went crazy and we went from having in-person to online,
Okay.
I took the approach of an honor system with the twist of I do partial credit. So if I don't see the handwritten work you did, I can't give you that partial credit. So if you do any work on paper when you're doing your quiz, either
Okay.
take a picture with your phone camera, or there's a lot of free little mini scanners for your phones. Just
And
scan it to me and send it to me in an email. That way, if the program, because as you guys work through this more and more, you'll see that the program has little bugs in it. And like, so one of the little bugs I can tell you is if you have to graph something and you don't start with the 0.00 if it's included in the line, it will mark it wrong even though you graphed the exact line you had to graph. I
Okay.
can see the difference because I know that a line contains many, 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 many infinite points. The program was programmed to say 0, 0 is included, they have to use 0, 0. If they don't start with 0, 0, it's wrong. So
Okay.
if you show me that work, then I can
Okay.
say, oh, guess what, program? I'm overriding your score because you were programmed by a dummy. So,
Okay. All right. I got it.
cool.
I have another question real quick. So like I was doing the homework yesterday and I noticed like when I was typing in the variables, it was like case sensitive. So it wanted them in uppercase. And when I was typing, it just normally went into lowercase and it marked as wrong. So would that be like the same instance where like if you saw the work, it would just go right since you saw we had the same lettering? It's just not uppercased.
Very correct.
All right.
Absolutely. It is one of my absolute biggest pet peeves with this program. Um, it it basically it basically can't distinguish that. Like a capital A versus a lowercase a, you break the system. The program
Yeah.
does not understand that those two things, in my mind, are equivalent. Um, the one thing I will caution all of you on is sometimes it wants units and sometimes it doesn't want units. I am almost always going to want the units. So if you're doing handwork, make sure you put down the units. It's just something that you guys will need to do in the future if you had a class in person. So can I get a general thumbs up or a you're good for the vocab? I think I can see almost everybody right now when I scroll across, except for the few people that are um, not sharing me your faces. So give me 1 second. And of course, since I moved it, I'm now with Cody, Chloe, Lexi, and Gavin. And so we're good to go. All right, so we have to actually stop the screen share for a moment on this page because I realized that the okay. Is anyone waiting in the waiting room? No? Okay, cool. I'm hoping this is gonna work. Files? No. Advanced. Okay, I guess we'll just have to go with sharing my screen. If anything inappropriate pops up, nobody laugh. All right. I'm just kidding. I just have a bunch of work opened up. Can you guys see the blanks like note page now or no?
Yep.
Okay, so just so you guys are aware, this is a program that I found that lets me write on the program, but of course it doesn't look like it's letting me scroll down for some reason. That's going to make me very annoyed. Let me scroll down first. Come on, what is your problem right now? Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Wow, this thing is super finicky. Okay, let's try that again with the screen share and the full screen. Okay, so here's our first example. And we will hopefully be able to do this pretty decently. Is it gonna let me Really? It's not gonna let me. Wow. Oh, nope. Okay, it did. Now it just looks wonky though. All right, apparently using this with the zoom is going to make it very sluggish. Okay, let me just write down the problem, and what we'll do is I will try to do it using that whiteboard feature. Does anyone use the whiteboard with any of you guys? All right, let's try it. See how it looks. Okay. Oh, I wonder if we could at some point pull in like a like a picture or something. But okay, so if we have y equals, and this is where I say don't make fun of my online drawings, negative 2x plus 1. That has to go away. Oh, just happened. Okay. All right. Are we all seeing the horrible writing that I'm doing? Cool. Yeah. All right. And also, apparently, I don't know. Oh, hey, colors. Oh, great. And I can go wider. Fantastic. Okay. Apparently, that's black. That's interesting. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find a point on our line. So what's one point on this line that you know right away? And somebody tell me why. Go ahead, Cody.
I was gonna say the +1.
Okay.
So starting at your origin, just go up 1 and then put that as your first dot.
Mm-hmm. So that is also known as your what? What's that called?
Oh, are you still asking me?
Anybody?
Y-intercept?
Y-intercept. Very good. So the y-intercept for this case is 0, 1. And just as a quick refresher for everybody, we put the x first and the y second. Okay, and then someone else tell me, what else does this equation help us figure out? So we found our y-intercept, and now what can we do? Tell me what we should do next. Guess I should make
Find
it
our
bigger.
X.
So when you say find your x, explain that to me a little more.
Like you see how like 0's in place of 1 in the y-intercept. Like basically do like the different version of that, but like find the number for like the first one.
Oh, okay. So you want to find the x-intercept, is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Okay. So I can tell you that that is one option. It is something that in probably a future homework you will have to find the x-intercept. But what I will also tell you is that probably isn't the quickest way to get the next point. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gavin.
We want to, I think, we want like make that table where you change the x to 0, 1, 2, or -1, -2, right? I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, we can do an XY table. Yeah, absolutely. So when we do an XY table, And you guys have to let me know if there's any coloring that I'm picking that you're like, it's a no-go. So if we pick the XY table, we can go ahead and we can start with our 0, 1 because we already know that point exists, right? And I guess I'll undo those parentheses. They just look kind of terrible. So we can pick any other X value, right? And how do we know we can pick any other X value? Because what do we know about the beauty of a line? A line is going to contain what?
Numbers.
It contains many numbers, right? So the beauty about a line is that there is never, in a true line, there's never a point where the point does not exist or the line does not exist. We will get to examples where you will have functions that you will have what's called a hole or an asymptote, but that is later on in trig. So right now, what that means for you is that you can pick any other X value. So we already know the value of Y for 0. So someone give me another X value.
1 for X.
1 for X, okay. So if we put in a 1 for X, where is that 1 going?
It would be plugged into the equation.
For the X value, right? So -2, so let me write it out so that if someone can't really follow along with our verbal, if we have Y equals -2, now what we're being told is that we have to put in a 1 plus 1. And I apologize that that's kind of running into our table. But what does that mean? What's our output going to be?
Should be -1.
Very good. Okay, and for anyone that didn't get that, -2 times 1 gives you your -2 plus 1, so you have -1. So that means your second line or a second line, I'm sorry, not second line, second point. Why does that not look the same? Will be at 1, -1. So that means we're going to come over here and we're going to go to the right 1 and then down 1. And I do apologize that because this is not in person, you cannot see the actual coordinate plane. I will try to find better and better ways to show you guys things, but for right now, we're just going to have to go with my very wonky drawings. What's an internal way that we can know that we drew the right line? Go ahead.
Points are going to be touching.
Points are going to be touching. Yep. What else can you guys tell me? What can you tell me about this line in particular? This equation?
It's a negative.
It's a negative. So it's a negative what? Tell me that word that you guys should know because of your vocab.
Slope.
Slope. Very good.
Negative slope.
Yep, very good. So this -2 is your slope, and it is, of course, negative. Slope is, of course, represented by the letter M. Now, don't go asking me why is it the letter M. My answer to you will be my answer for almost most of the questions you ask, which is some old dead white guy thought it would be a good answer. It really cannot tell you. Maybe they didn't use S because S is later on used for the distance of a side. But why they picked the arbitrary letter M for slope, I really can't tell you. That's just what it is. So another way you can tell that you actually drew the right line here is that this is a negative slope. If you were to walk down this line, what can you tell me about that walk? Would you be walking uphill or rolling downhill?
Downhill.
Downhill. So of course, We know that we did that correctly. Now, can I save this? Yes, whiteboard saved. Great. Don't know where I saved it to, but that's fantastic. Okay, so we're going to, can I just scroll? No? Okay, then I guess I'll just erase it. And everyone good with clearing this?
I just have one question.
Sure.
That second point, the lower one, that's not supposed to be on the line, right?
Correct. It's not on the line. That's why it's underneath. So
Got
it's
it. Okay.
down one into the right one.
Okay.
Couldn't we have just did the rise over run like -2 on top over 1?
Sure, could have. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So there are many different approaches you can. I shouldn't say many. There are a few different approaches you can take, but I also want you guys to lead as much as this is possible. So that happened to be the approach we took this time. It would not have been the only approach, which is a very good thing to point out. Anyone else have any questions for this example? Okay. I do apologize to some of you if you've already done this, but I just want to make sure that you guys aren't gonna have any questions. Everybody good for me to do the next one, or do you guys feel pretty good and confident now with drawing lines and we can move to maybe the next subset? You guys tell me. I don't want to waste anyone's time. Okay. No true question on that, or do you want to go to the next set, which I think is, what's that page look like? Do we need, show of hands, do we need an example of how to find a slope given 2 points? Or is that something you're all good with? It's something everyone's cool with? Or Angela, do you need to see it? I didn't know if that was a raising of the hand of yes or a raising of the hand of you're good.
So when I did the homework, I really used like the examples to show me how to follow through with it. But we're not there to the point where I need help yet. I wrote down my questions, but I can also email them to you because I didn't realize that. But it does have to do with finding the slope with 2 points. So maybe I might need to see that.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I can do it. I just have to write it down real quick and then I can do it in another whiteboard problem. Okay, so let's do clear all drawings. And this question is, let's do the find the slope. This is number 10. We'll do find the slope between the points 2, 3, and 5, 1. Okay, so let's go back to the whiteboard. All right, let's go to draw format. Okay, why are you still on eraser mode? I want you to write. I guess that works. Yep, that works. Okay. So if we need to find the slope, well, maybe that's a little too thick. Between 2, 3, and 5, 1. All right. So I will write this part down for you. Somebody tell me what else we need.
Is it find x1 and y1? Is it that one? x1, y1, x2, y2?
Yep. Does anyone remember where the y's go versus where the x's go? Cody?
So it's y1 or y minus y1. So it would be 3 minus 5. And then
Well,
for the,
remember where your y's are. So not 3 minus 5, but 3
oh, 3
minus-
minus 1, sorry.
Yep, that's okay. Okay, now since Cody started with the 3, what do we have to start with on the bottom? Somebody else?
The 2.
The 2, very good. So then it's 2 minus the 5. Now, help me remember, why am I using negatives when all my point pieces in here are positive?
You're trying to find the change in the y and the x.
Right, so the negatives are coming from the formula then, right? Okay, they're only going to change to be a positive if what? If we have a,
If you're subtracting negative.
right, if we have a negative from the points. Very, very good. Okay, so if we go ahead and find this slope, 3 minus 1 is going to be what?
2.
2, very good. And I'm not trying to insult anyone's intelligence. I just want to make sure that we all know what's going on. 2 minus 5 then will give me a
-3.
-3. Very good. So my slope then for this case is just m equals -2/3. Now that could be all you need to worry about. There's a possibility. There's a possibility for your when you're doing your homework that they might say, find the slope and then determine if it's increasing or decreasing, or they might want you to do something after you find the slope. Okay, so there's a lot of things you can do, obviously, with these kinds of questions. Angela, did that process help you a little bit? Okay. All right, so that was that question. Let me go ahead and save that. I don't really know where it's saving to, but that's okay. And I'm gonna assume everyone's good to go, so I'll go ahead and clear that. So I'm gonna assume that the next point we can just kind of use my teacher guided notes. So, so let's get that pulled back up. Okay. All right, so if you are good with finding the slope, so 12 and 13 are a little bit different. Well, I guess they're not different. I guess I just chose to give extra information. So remember I told you sometimes with the program, it'll ask you different questions. So one of the questions here that I assumed it would ask is to describe the line. So this line for 12 would be horizontal, and that's because it has a 0 slope. For 13, it's vertical, and that's because the slope is undefined. The 0's on the bottom. Do not feel bad if you have to take some notes on this and if you have to really pay attention to that. I'm super, super dyslexic. So the 0 slope and the undefined for me is very, very hard. It's just one of those things that really bothers my brain. Any questions on how to do 12 and 13? Also, don't ask me why the numbering is messed up on this. I can't answer it. I just did the problems that were in front of me. Okay. I guess anybody need help with numbers that would be missing 18 through 20, which apparently they don't exist, so never mind. Okay, I think I figured it out though. I think what happened is another teacher made this and she just pulled the questions she thought was relevant. That's why they don't go in order.
I have a question about 21. I'm not exactly sure how you're able to tell like if a number is parallel, perpendicular, or neither.
Okay, does anyone have an answer for Gavin other than me? Go ahead, Cody, give us a shot at it.
I believe like if I see like a y equals 5 over 6x plus 5, so I think if that was like graphed on like the graphs you give us, it would show us if it was either like a straight parallel line or like going perpendicular.
Right, so another way to look at that is if you notice here, the second equation, I wrote it off to the side and then I rewrote it to be in what's called standard form. And what you can see here is that the slope of both lines are the same. So if the slope of both lines are the same, then that leads you to a parallel set of lines because you can notice that the y-intercepts are different. If the y-intercepts would be the same as well as the slopes would be the same, then you would be looking at identical lines. Okay, makes sense?
Thank you. And then what about perpendicular?
Perpendicular, if you look at 17, perpendicular is when we take the opposite reciprocal. So if you would have solved a problem and found that the slopes would be opposite reciprocals, then they would be perpendicular. And just to review opposite reciprocal, that means opposite sign, and then reciprocal is when you take the numerator and it becomes the denominator. You flip the fraction.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking back on number 6. I just want to make sure, is the y-intercept of number 6 -4?
Hold on, let me pull that up for myself. Why is this thing not working? I guess we'll just do it this way. Can you read me what number 6 says? You're on mute. Sorry.
No, you're good. 4y minus 8x plus 16 equals 0.
4y minus 8x
Yeah, plus
Equals-
16 equals 0.
plus 16 equals 0. So the first thing you want to do is, well, I guess we can just...
Because like I did the math, but I just want to make sure that I did it right. Because on 21, you would divide 12 to like get the y alone.
Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and do that problem on the whiteboard.
Well, like my confusion is like you didn't divide 12 by the 5 in 21, but I divided the 4 by 16 in 6, and I was just making sure I did it right.
Well, you definitely want to divide everything. Let me...
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, show me where...
Like in 21, if you divide 12, you didn't divide it by 5. The like the plus 5.
You are absolutely correct. I did not. Yes, go ahead and make that correction on your, if you guys are taking these notes, I do apologize. No one last semester caught that. It truly doesn't change the answer here, but it would change the answer of if the program or, if I would have asked for the y-intercepts, then I would have given you the wrong y-intercept. So good catch. Nice job.
So would you want the fraction or the decimal?
Fraction
Like-
always.
Fraction, okay.
Now, the program might ask you for decimals. The
Okay.
program is disgusting. But if you are asked for a decimal, make sure you guys pay attention to the number of decimals it wants you to give, and make sure that you round appropriately, because that would be one of those cases where you would definitely want to send me your work. Because if you have the equivalent fraction, but you just messed up on getting the decimal, I will give you the points. Okay, make sense?
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Are we good with 24? If you look at what they're doing in 24, what do we need to discuss this one?
Just to refresh my memory, what is B?
B is your y-intercept.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Okay. And I can tell you that even though you guys started your homework before we did chapter 1, we will move on to the next set of notes depending upon if we get all of this covered. I promise you it does get harder. So if you guys are a little bored on this stuff, don't worry, it'll pick up. Can anyone tell me why set 3 is special?
I think they're all like 3 can divide into all of those numbers.
3 can divide into all of those numbers, but the issue is the change.
Is it because it's a parabola?
Yep. So because chapter 1 only deals with linear, that's an example of a nonlinear function. So you're not going to find a slope that works for all 3 of them, or all those points. Okay. Are you guys good with 24? Can we scroll down, or are you guys still 1 minute? Okay. I like this. I don't know. Maybe doing the whole class is possible. Just I wish you guys could see what this looks like on my end. Maybe you'll see it in the recording if anyone needs to work back over it. I definitely have you guys scrolled out over the whole screen right now. So, and I will also and just so you guys know, and I will put up the recording. I'll put up as many recordings as I can load until we can't load anymore, and then I might go back and delete some to make room on the Canvas shell. But I will also put up these notes from today.
I'm sorry. I've been trying to like understand this more. I didn't want to like hold up the class, but I'm a little slow with this stuff. I'm not really getting how to do set one at all.
Okay, don't worry about it. So the first thing you kind of have to do with these kind of problems is you want to see the change in y. So if you look at set one, you're going from 23 to 20 to 17 to 14 to 11. And if you notice, there's a pattern there. That
Yeah, it's -3 for M.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering on how to get B.
Okay, so to get B, what do you notice about the first X you're given? It's what?
1.
Okay, so to find B, your X is typically what?
Oh, try and find 0 or
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So your X is 0. So to go from 1 to 0, you're just subtracting 1, which means on the Y side, you're going to add
Got you.
the 3 instead of subtracting the 3. So it'll just be 26.
All right, got you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Does anyone else need any other set explained? Or do we all kind of get it now that that's been explained? It's the same basic premise for all of them. Okay. So if we work through 25, we want to find an equation of a line that has a slope of 3 and contains the points 2, 5. So what you want to do there is you want to figure out using your point slope form, because we have a point and we have a slope. So if you recall back to your vocab up here, your point slope form was y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So then if we plug in everything we have, we would have y minus 5 equals 3 times the quantity x minus 2. We go ahead and distribute that, and then we combine. And once we combine, we have our equation. Does anyone have questions on how to use the point slope form? Okay. Same basic premise for 26, except the difference there is that you have to find the slope first and then use the point slope form. Okay. All right. It looks like I am missing some of the pages, so I guess we'll go over this page and then we'll look at the pages that we're missing and kind of go over those if we need to. So can anyone that hasn't spoken in class today, anyone want to explain to all of us what the vertical line test is, if you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on the y-axis, you'd put a line straight down, and if it crosses in more than one place, if it intercepts with the line in more than one place, it's not a function.
You are correct. So basically, you kind of do like Casey said, the down hash mark lines. And if you look at number 2, you can see if you drew the lines that they're only intercepting once, so that is a function. But of course, number 1 over here is an ellipse, so it is not a normal function that we're used to working with. I can tell you that circles and ellipses you will not have to deal with in this course, with the exception of knowing whether it's a function or not. Okay. So I'm going to assume that some folks will need a little bit of explanation with the domain and range. Don't beat yourselves up if you have to go over this a few times. Like I said, with my form of dyslexia, it's another one of those things that I just struggle with a lot. Domain, somebody new, tell us what domain is. It's going to be what? Don't be afraid, you can do it.
I could answer again.
Okay, Casey, save everybody.
I'm if I remember correctly, domain is where it lies between 2 points on the x-axis. So like how far it goes right and how far it goes left.
Close. So it's the domain is going to encompass all possible x values.
Yeah.
Okay. So with number 2, we have a parabola there. So that is telling you that there are no x's that aren't a possibility, which means, in other words, that all x's are possibilities. So that's why I have there the shorthand for all real numbers. It's literally going from negative infinity to infinity. And since we're working with 2, we'll just go ahead to the range. And if domain is dealing with your x's, somebody else tell me what my range is dealing with.
Range is all values y can be.
Yes. Okay. Now, between the 2, your domain affects your range in a sense. So for this case, your range, if you look at the function you're given, the y component of that vertex is -3. So your options are everything -3 and above. Okay. I promise I will be as lenient as humanly possible when it comes to anything concerning inequalities. If you have the right number and the right letters, but your signs are backwards, I'm probably giving you half credit because I know how difficult inequalities can be. They are a bane of my existence. That being said, do try your best. And with the program, it'll obviously mark it all wrong, but if you pay attention, you can just redo it to the point where you get it right. And honestly, with this stuff, practice makes perfect for just trying to get down your inequalities. Okay, so for number 1, you can see for your domain that the furthest left you can go is -4. The furthest right you're going is 5. So it's going from -4 to 5. The range is the lowest you're going to is -3 and the highest you're going to is 4. Okay. And then as you guys can see there, the last question that I have written out is an application problem. And it says a person fills up her car's gas tank and then drives for a long time. Let X be the driving time in hours since she fueled up, and let Y be the number of gallons of gas in the car's gas tank. Assume the relationship between X and Y is described by the equation Y equals negative 2X plus 10. Find the y-intercept and describe what it means in this situation. So obviously finding it wasn't too hard. It was the plus 10. And we already discussed earlier how we translate that to a point. Why did I give the description I gave? Someone work it out for us. Or if you can say it in a different way, say it in a different way. I guess that's really the only way you can say it though, huh? Anyone have any questions on the pages we have just gone over? Don't be afraid to have me go backwards. It's quite all right. Okay. Are we good for me to pull up the other pages so we can see if anyone needs anything? Yeah? Cool. Okay, so let's stop this screen share. And I hate that I keep clicking that. Okay, let's go into home. To comprehensive notes.
Would you be able to do number 28 on page 4?
Yeah, give me 1 second to pull it up. Is that one of the pages that I don't have right now?
I don't think we went over this one.
Okay.
This page, so.
Okay. All right. If I pull it to full screen, can you guys still see it? Yeah, you're still seeing it? Cool. All right. Okay, so this page, and you said 28. Okay, so find an equation of a line that contains the point 6, negative 7, and is perpendicular to the line. Okay, so our only issue is right now I can't write on this. So I may write it down on my handy dandy sheet of paper. So the point is 6, negative 7, and the equation is negative 2x plus 5y equals 10, and we want it to be perpendicular. Okay, so let's go to another whiteboard. Man, I don't know, you guys. I'm liking this whiteboard thing. I don't know if I like it all the time, but I'm liking it today. Okay, so our point is 6, negative 7. We want perpendicular to negative 2x plus 5y equals 10. So somebody give me an idea. Somebody tell me what to do.
You would start by putting it in the slope-intercept form to get the slope.
Boom. Okay. So if we're gonna do that, we will add 2x to both sides. Wow, what kind of writing is that? Try that one again. Negative 2. Oh, but I'm adding. My apologies. Add 2x. Okay, so then I'm going to have 5y equals 2x plus 10. Right? What's my next step? Have I done it? Do I know what my slope is?
Don't you
gotta
divide by 5?
Very good, both of you. Wow. Wow. All right. So divide by 5, and Mackenzie, divide by 5. So that you know I paid attention from last time. Okay, so we're gonna have y equals 2/5 x plus 2. All right. So we now have slope equal to 2/5. How does that help me?
You can, I know, so for perpendicular, it's just the opposite. So it'd be -5/2 for,
Very good. Very good.
but I just don't know how to like work that in.
Okay. Okie dokie. So -5/2 is correct. So now that we have all of that, that means we'll have y, oops, y equals -5/2 x plus b. Now I'll let you guys know I use a pause or a capital B because I just find my lowercase b's to look too much like a 6.
I get it. I completely missed that. Yeah, you just plug
Yeah.
it in now.
Now you just plug it in. Very good. All right. If you guys need this finished out, let me know and we can pick up on it next time. But before we depart today, I want us to very quickly, because we only have 5 minutes left. So, is this something you would like to continue doing? Do you want to continue it with the bigger group and we will do the lectures? And then if we should finish a lecture early, by early, I mean, if on day 1 we finish all of the lecture, then on day 2 we could do small groups? Or would you like to cancel out the small groups altogether? I can see the benefit in the small group, but obviously I can also see the benefit in you guys getting the entire time as well. So without talking over each other, we have 4 minutes. Someone give me their thoughts.
I'd rather have the big group so we can have enough time.
I agree on the big group for sure.
Okay.
Me too.
I agree
So
too.
we're on agreeance that we'll just keep the big group, and if you guys need some kind of like extra homework hour, maybe instead of me doing traditional office hours, maybe we'll have like an optional 1 hour a week at some point and for homework help, and that can be like a smaller set. Unless everyone needs it, then we would just work it into the lessons. Sound good? Okay, I hope you all had a decent lesson today. I hope you all feel like you gained something. I do apologize if it was, maybe repeated information because I had you guys do homework first. I do think it is very beneficial for you guys to continue doing homework first. And that's because if you're getting a bulk of the homework done before the lesson, then when you're coming into the lesson, did you see how sometimes throughout the lesson you guys provided the information? That means when you provided the information, you're learning it even more, okay? So if you have any concerns or any questions, reach out to me via email, and if we need to set up an individual one-on-one, I will be more than happy to answer those questions. And definitely even give me, if you want, give me some feedback via email, that's fine too. I always like seeing student feedback, and I try to incorporate it as much as humanly possible. All right, thank you all for today. I will try to put this lesson up if you need it as a recap or to see something you missed. And other than that, I opened up the orientation because I saw not everyone had it done. So that is, you can finish that whenever. It's just to help you use the program. The homeworks are due, I think, the midnight on the 30th. And we will meet again on the 31st. All right. Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks.
Yep. See ya.
So
Go ahead.
I did that cleared the cookie thing, and it's still like it says 401 unauthorized.
Okay. All right. I will have Eric reach out to you.
All right, thank you. Will it be through my personal or my LTRC? Because my personal is not really working right now. I'm not getting any emails from that.
Probably I will definitely let him know to do your LTRC.
Okay, thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome.
Have a good week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Yep. All right, Casey, what's up?
I still cannot figure out how to get onto the homework.
Okay.
Because I found an email from you with the code brewer and then like 5 or 6 numbers after it.
Mm-hmm.
But the code it's asking me to put in is like really long.
Okay, so that's probably your access code, which is
Yeah.
completely different. Did you find the one from the bookstore?
No.
Okay, so that's what you have to do. Find the one from the bookstore. If you need to, get a hold of the bookstore, and they
Okay.
should be able to help you find the code they sent you.
All right.
All right, let me know what happens. Reach out to me, and if I can help you in any way, I will.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.